Hi and welcome to this channel. In this video we are going to talk about databases for Flutter. I linked to timestamp for this video in the video description if you want to skip ahead. We can categorize databases in Flutter and generally based on their scheme. We have relational databases, which are the traditional scheme, and SQLite is an example that is used in mobile development. We also have NoSQL, and they store data as a document like a JSON file. They are fast databases, and MongoDB is an example of NoSQL database. And another category is individually created. You can create a database that is basically a JSON file, and you can read and write to this database, and you have to manage the database yourself. We can also categorize databases based on their location. If the database is local, they are stored on device and they are very fast, but they can become very large databases on devices. We also have cloud databases, which are stored remotely on a server like Firestore database. They are used to synchronize data across devices. So if you need to use a database to synchronize settings or files across devices, you have to use the cloud database. And it depends on your application which one you have to use. So how do you choose your database in Flutter? If you want to use relational database, you have two options of local database and cloud database. For local database, you can use SQFLite, which is SQLite that is specific to Flutter. Let's check out this package. This is SQFLite for iOS and Android. It's a plugin for SQLite that is specific to Flutter, and you can install it, and there is a good example also at the website. We also have a package called Moor. This one is built on top of SQLite, and there are a couple of advantages to using Moor instead of SQFLite. It makes working with SQLite databases easier while still retaining lots of benefits of SQLite. And if you want to use relational database on the cloud, you can use Amazon Relational Database Service or RDS. And if you want to use NoSQL on local device, you can use Hive. Hive is a lightweight and blazing fast key value database written in pure Dart. In this page, they show you how the Hive performs against other types of databases. For example, against SQLite, you can see there is a huge difference between Hive and SQLite in reading operation. And also, it is the same as shared preferences in reading data. And in writing operation, you can see that it is much faster than SQLite as well as shared preferences. So it's really an interesting package to use, Hive. And for NoSQL database on cloud, you can use Firestore. I'm sure that you are familiar with Firestore. So how about shared preferences? We know that shared preferences is a key value store where you can save a data under certain key. To read the data from the store, you have to know the key of the data that makes the reading very easy. But as easy as it is, when the data gets very large, it is difficult to manage the database, and it is difficult to read large structured data because you have to define key for every single data. And you cannot search through your database because if you want to get a record, you have to have the key. So that is the shared preferences compared to other options. To explain more about relational databases versus NoSQL, if you are not familiar, you can continue to watch this video. Here we have a non-relational database and relational database. In non-relational, it does not incorporate the table model. Instead, data can be stored in a single document file. But in a relational database, table organizes structured data into defined columns and fields. In this graph, we can see the pros and cons of relational and NoSQL databases. Relational databases are easy to use and set up, universal, compatible with many tools. And also they are good at structured data. And cons, they are time consuming to understand and design and can be difficult to scale. For NoSQL databases, there is no investment to design model. You can go straight to saving your data. It is a rapid development cycles and it is faster than SQL in general. But it is unsuited for interconnected data. And this figure shows you the differences between the terminologies in relational database and non-relational or NoSQL database. At the top we have the database itself, and then we have tables in relational and collections in NoSQL. And then we have rows and we have documents in NoSQL. In relational we have columns, and in NoSQL we have fields. So I hope this clears the differences between relational and NoSQL. I hope this video helps you to choose the right database for your application. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I will see you in the next video.